that we're going to do today is everybody's 5 favorite horror films.
Mm-hmm.
And we got, this was hard.
Oh, yes.
It wasn't too difficult for me, but I have a feeling that there's not going to be any crossover on my list with yours, with either of yours,
Okay.
because I'm not a basic bitch. I'm sorry.
Do you want to put that to a fucking vote?
I didn't mean to say it like I did. I apologize. I did apologize, so it's water under the bridge.
Schmack.
It's all water under the fridge.
Sorry.
All right, so let's do your list first.
The whole thing? Or we just five?
Or should we go around the table?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, let's go around the table.
All right.
All right,
me?
number 5. Dumbhead.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, okay. He said number 5. I thought he was going to say something.
What's your number 5?
What's your number 5, dumbhead?
God, shh. Just chill. Just don't get me down, man.
It's cool and heavy.
All right, number 5. It's a movie I've been wanting you guys to watch. If it would go in the bucket, if I haven't already watched it, it still might. But Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Okay.
It is a movie about 2 hillbillies who have a cabin up in the woods, an old rundown cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Some teenagers show up, and the teenagers keep ending up dead.
Okay.
And it is a lot of blood, gore, violence, and Alan Tudyk's in it, which he's one of my favorite actors, so that made number 5.
Okay. Blood, guts, and spitting ass everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Jim, what's your number 5?
My number 5. The reason I have this on there, it's just, I can still remember watching it at the Angela Theater, and my hair was still standing on end when I came into my house. I was still, freaked out by this movie. It's a simple movie, but like I said, this movie just freaking had me going crazy. It's The Grudge.
Okay.
The remake with
Right.
Sarah Michelle Gellar. That movie just freaked me the fuck out.
That's not a bad pick. That's a good pick. I can respect that. Better than Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
No, it isn't. You haven't seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It's a good movie.
Better than Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh,
probably
it's going to be that type
Probably.
of night, is it?
Just wait, pal. Just fucking wait. My number 5. Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece adaptation, we'll use that word, of Stephen King's classic The Shining.
Okay.
It's a masterpiece of a book. It's a masterpiece of a movie. However, Kubrick took a lot of liberties with the source material, but that doesn't detract from the greatness of the movie, in my opinion. I love the Shining.
Okay.
All right, what do you got for
number
4?
4? Number 4 is a sequel, one of the best slasher movies that I think was ever made. Sleepaway Camp 2.
Oh my God!
The original was good, but again, when you have basically when the slasher's a kid, that's okay, but the second one when they really lean into it and the slashing and the camping and all that, it's good. And it's, like we said, one of the best.
That's not a bad movie
4th greatest.
in your eyes. You're entitled to be wrong, Mr. Miller.
This one everybody knows. It's a movie we all love and enjoy. It's The Evil Dead 2.
Okay,
Dead by Dawn.
Okay.
It's in my top 5.
kind of synergy with my list. Kind of.
Yeah.
How can you go in?
I'm not going in. No, I'm not going in. It's just, again, I'll save it.
Damn it.
My number 4. Pet Sematary.
Good choice.
Awesome movie.
Both the original and the reboot.
The reboot was really good.
The reboot was fantastic. However, I have a soft spot in my heart for the original.
Correct.
Because you have Fred Gwynn in there. The kid that played Gage still fucking creeps me out. And
Denise Crosby's
in it.
The male lead he played in Time Tracks. I can't remember his name. But yeah, cohesive story all the way through. One of King's few movies where the actual story is cohesive all the way through.
Yes. The prequel that they did on what was that on? Was that on? That wasn't Peacock. I don't.
I think it was Prime, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't on Prime.
I know I watched it. Damn.
It might have been on Paramount.
Possibly, but yes.
There was one that I have because I started watching it and didn't like it, turned it off.
Pet Sematary Bloodlines. I
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
I-
I thought it was good.
Yeah, that was good.
It gives you a lot of the backstory of the Micmac grounds and why Judd Crandall stayed
Yeah,
in
it's-
Ludlow all those years.
Well, they didn't get the kid that got to play Judd didn't have the accent.
Not in that road.
Yeah, he didn't sound like
Neither did the guy in the reboot.
Yeah.
Didn't sound like Fred Gwynn's over exaggerated.
That's not over exaggerated. That's how they talk up there. Those hillbillies up there. None of them are listening because they don't have cable.
Yeah, well. Anyway,
What does this have to do with cable?
for the interwebs, what the hell's wrong with you?
Okay.
Yeah.
What's number 3, Bill?
Number 3, another sequel that's better than the original. Hands down. This movie scared the pants off of me, because I live near a cemetery. Okay? And that's Return of the Living Dead.
Great movie.
Yep. Scared the bejesus out of me.
Great movie.
Yep. Love it. And that might be one of the first ones I ever saw when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's a wonderful film. I have nothing bad to say about that.
Well, of course. No, it's a good movie.
Damn right it is.
Absolutely.
So on my list, damn right it's a good movie.
Okay.
What do you got for 3?
Number 3. It's just because of nostalgia. This is one of the ones that really got me into horror. I'm going with Hellraiser.
You all know my affinity for Hellraiser.
Yes.
There's 2 fucking lament configurations on the table. I have a 12-inch Pinhead vinyl doll on my in my cabinet upstairs. I'm a huge Hellraiser fan. However, I tried to stay away from franchises in this. I wanted to.
I got you.
I failed a little bit, but I wanted to do more standalone stuff. But and honestly, I'm hard pressed to pick a Hellraiser movie out of the first 3, because all 3 of them are great in their own way.
Yes.
But the original's that's bomb.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, my number 3. The original, still the greatest. All the reboots, all the sequels have paled in comparison. 1974's classic, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, my.
Okay.
In my eyes, hands down, the best
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Toby Hooper did just such an amazing job with such a small budget, and it started a franchise.
Yep.
Yes, it did.
All right, what do you got at number 2, Bill?
Number 2, just a wonderful late night movie. It has horror. It has aliens. It has great catchphrases and great acting. Night of the Creeps.
Oh, Jesus, I haven't seen that in
I
forever.
was going to say, same here.
Yes, that is, and again, I'd say I love it. The good news is your dates are here. What's the bad news? They're dead.
That's a good one.
It is an awesome movie.
See, I actually, that reminds me, I have an honorable mention I want to throw in.
All right.
I got
All
a
right.
few honorables, too, yes.
All right, what do you got at 2?
This, I think, is one of the first horror movies I've ever saw. And I still remember having a nightmare, waking up in the middle of the night and thinking I was flying around, my bed was flying around the room. Classic Exorcist.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be Poltergeist.
Oh no.
That's an honorable mention.
Okay. We'll get to it. Yeah. My number 2, the only franchise I put on here. I love every single movie in the franchise, and even the reboot and the sequel to the reboot. Or actually, it's not a sequel, it's just a continuation of the story. The Evil Dead franchise.
There you go.
All right.
Like, what Sam Raimi did in the first trilogy was absolute genius. One, he did as a straight horror movie. Two, he leans more into the comedy. And you can't beat Bruce Campbell's fucking amazingly bad, so bad it's good overacting.
Yes.
And then Army of Darkness just really leans into the humor even more, but there's still some great horror segments in it. And then the reboot is just a pure blood and guts horror movie. Evil Dead Rise, just a pure blood and guts horror movie. Unbelievably good. I love every single part of the Evil Dead universe. Even the TV show was great.
Well, it was okay.
I loved it.
I had to check out after like season 1 because that was just Again, I just wasn't into it. I own it, but I was not into it.
I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. All right, what's your number one, Bill?
Number 1. Again, this movie scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. It still creeps me the hell out to this day, but I still love it. Has Chuck Connors as the bad guy.
Okay.
As Mr. Slaucer. Tourist Trap.
Oh, Jesus. You're digging deep into like
But
80s.
that is my favorite stuff.
Yeah,
that is,
my Lord.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm kind of surprised Motel Hell didn't come out.
Believe me, it was tough picking.
In fact, the honorable mention I'm going to bring up is a bad, like dreadfully bad.
I only have one
80s
honorable
horror
mention only because it was like I had 6 to begin with.
Uh-huh.
And it's like I had to choose one or the other, and that's the one.
what's
Well,
your
when we
honor-
get to it,
Okay.
Because
What's your number one?
number 1.
Yeah.
Number 1. I think this is actually the only movie, actual horror movie that I actually went to go see with my mother. It was a theater. Nobody like local had it. We had to come to Allentown to come see this movie. It was a reboot, but it's one of my favorite movies. I will watch this movie constantly through and through. It's 13 Ghosts.
I wasn't
think
really
I've
a
seen
fan
that.
of that one.
I don't think I've seen it.
I wasn't really a fan of that one.
Oh, I love
It's
that
not.
movie.
It's not the worst thing I've watched, because I've watched some fucking dreadful horror movies. But 13 Ghosts isn't. I mean, to each their own, and that's these lists are all subjective. But I couldn't put it. Jordan Lane says Jim Miller is a legend. I don't know about that.
Well, thank you. Anyway,
Anyway,
What the hell?
I don't know.
I don't know if I could put that up through mine. So, my number 1, Jim put it at number 2, and this proves that he doesn't know shit about shit. See, you thought you were getting off easy today.
No, I'm good.
Number 1, this is where it all started for me. To the point where we took a family vacation to Washington, D.C., and I made a specific stop to the iconic steps
Yeah.
where Father Damien Karras flew down in William Peter Blatty's The Exorcist. That movie ignited my love for horror.
All right.
Exorcist 1 is fantastic. Exorcist 2 sucked ass. That was fucking shit. Exorcist 3 was a really good movie. And then Dominion wasn't bad. Exorcist Believer was good.
That one that just came out.
The one that just came
Yeah.
out. Exorcist Believer was good. I love The Exorcist.
Right.
Phenomenal movie. What do you got for an honorable mention?
The only honorable mention that I have, and there's tons in my brain, but this one was like, is Prom Night.
Prom Night.
'Cause
Oh, God.
Now, I will say this. Prom Night 2,
Hello, Mary Lou.
I think that one was better in the horror aspect than the first Prom Night because the first Prom Night was a straight-up slasher movie.
Yeah.
But it was also about, a kid that saw his sister get murdered. or was it somebody got murdered? But again, it was still. I love the '80s horror. I always will be such a big fan. There's so many. When I was making up my list, I was looking at my collection and saying, okay, which 5 of you are going to make the list?
Boy.
Yeah.
You know, and ones that didn't, I was like, and Lisa's like sitting there, it's like, I'm surprised, Nightmare on Elm Street didn't make it. I said, I know, so am I. But again, these are ones that ignited my love of the genre.
Yeah.
And actually literally scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. I can't disagree. What's your honorable mention? Joe?
We'll go with Poltergeist,
Poltergeist.
the '80s version. I mean, I can still to this day.
Nobody wants a stuffed clown.
Nope.
Nope.
Nobody wants stuffed clown, and how many people learned to count between the thunder and lightning during that movie?
Dude, that Poltergeist is that's a classic.
Yes.
You got nothing bad to say about that.
Yep.
And for my honorable mention, I'm pulling a page out of Bill's playbook, and a cheesy, bad, really bad 80s horror movie, but I fucking love it, and I will watch it over and over and over again. Blood Diner.
Oh God, it's been years since I've even seen that
Guys
one.
talked about that. I've never seen it.
That might be one that's like in the back of the memory that I watched when I was, again, kid.
With the Tutman brothers.
Again, it's one of those that like got lost in the shuffle because I don't remember. I remember seeing it, but not remember a lot about it.
Yes. It's a fantastically bad movie. I recommend it to everybody. If you're especially if you're a fan of 80s horror, like because that's when the slasher genre just
Toxic
exploded.
Avenger. Oh my God.
Well, not even just a slash. I mean, yeah, stuff like Street Trash was back then.
Yeah.
There are so many that I can name. Just like I remember, the Critters, Extro, Chud.
Oh God, Chud.
There was
Basket Case.
Basket Case.
Humanoid underground dwellers.
Yes, there was so many great ones. It was like everybody had a great idea.
Yeah. Oh God, Basket Case. The Creep Show movies.
The first one, yes.
The second one was all right.
Yeah, the third one might as well never have been made.
I'll agree. There was so many good horror movies, and we didn't even bring the big franchises into this because at some point all the big franchises jumped the shark. Even Hellraiser jumped the shark.
But I didn't start horror with the big franchises. I started with the low budget crap. And that's why I still have love of even like 80s, like the 70s sci-fi.
Yeah.
With cardboard shit and buttons and voltmeters as your instrument panels.
Yeah.
And I still love that because I started with that.
Oh, well, it's like Plan 9 from Outer Space.
I love that movie. I absolutely love that movie.
It's so bad.
Oh
It's
my
fucking
God.
fun.
Yeah, and I love that early sci-fi. I love early 80s horror and just before everything got all technical and polished and, well, especially 90s extreme.
Yeah.
Dear God.
Well, Brian brings up Maximum Overdrive.
Awesome movie.
Yes, it is.
Awesome movie.
Yes.
Meh.
What you mean, meh?
Meh.
It was an awesome
That's
movie.
one of my least favorite King movies.
The soda can killed the man.
Honey, this machine just called me an asshole.
Yeah, I love that. Love that movie, too.
It's not bad, but it's one of my least favorite King movies.
Again, there are some movies out there that are just fun horror movies, but not comedy horror movies.